I chose a beach painting because beaches have always been close to my heart. My family started taking me to a beach a few months after I was born, and I always loved it. I find happiness, calmness, excitement, and beauty in the beach. Viewing a painting like this for the past few months has also given me these feelings. From the painting, I have created 5 lessons, which I will quickly go over with you. Just as a side note, for each different lesson that I have, I also have outcomes that I found that would work really well with the lessons. For my first lesson, I would like students to think of a place throughout the world that they think represents themselves. So I have an example of a playground here, which a lot of students might be familiar with. Students can do research, which would be a good idea because a lot of people might not leave the home a lot. I would also get students to do a quick write-up on why they chose the place or the kind of landscape they did. It is important for students to be able to put meaning to their work. Using creative, expressive words would really help to describe their painting. This would give me great insight on who they are as a person. I would do this in a picturing and writing kind of way, so what I mean by this is I would have students start with their painting and then do their writing. This way students are able to be descriptive and explain their painting, and I really liked it when we did it in class. The second lesson is all about mood and feeling. I want students to create a piece of art that shows their mood and how they're feeling today. Before we do this lesson, we will talk about feelings and moods and how these translate into colors. We will also reflect on likes and dislikes when it comes to colors. If their painting is happy mood, then they choose colors that they really like. I want them to be able to really understand each painting and what feelings come with it. Instead of making students do another writing piece, I would have conferences with each of them to talk about their paintings. This would work on speaking outcomes. I chose paint instead of other mediums because it's fairly easy to mix and get different colors that you want. Other materials can be used for this project though. For the third lesson, the students will go to a place that is based off their painting. So for me, I would go to the beach. So I know it's not realistic for everyone to go to the place where they painted, so I would like them to do research and find a photograph of the place if they cannot go to it. The students will then take the photograph and use it to edit it. I will give students a lesson on how to edit photos, and then they will get to do it themselves. Once students are done editing, they must write down what they did and why they did it. Then they will be split into small groups and they will share their learning. This would be a great thing to talk about internet safety, or how things don't always appear exactly as they are. When students are sharing their work, they will show both the original photo and one that they edited. This will show students how much you can manipulate a picture. For lesson 4, students will create a dance based off their painting. We will touch again on lesson 1 about creating mood, but we will do this with dance instead of painting. I would show them examples of paintings and find videos that represent them well. Then we would do one as a class. I will make sure they know that there are no wrong answers and that they can do it any way they'd like. Most students will have a lot of fun with this, but I get that some students will be nervous. I would personally not like to do this alone. I would give them the option to do it in small groups who have similar paintings, or if they feel more comfortable, they can do the dance at home and record it so that the class can watch it later. For lesson 5, I would start by showing a picture I took of a model. For example, this could be mountains made of clay or Lego buildings. I would then show a picture of the same scene, but from a different side or angle. This would show a different perspective of the same thing. I would ask students to interpret and predict a different perspective of their original painting. If we want to make an even harder activity, you could also get them to do a different perspective of someone else's painting. Once the painting activity is done, I would raise the question of why it was important. Once students have an idea of that, I would then start a lesson on the importance of understanding cultural perspectives. Since they are already warmed up a bit, this wouldn't be as difficult of a topic. I think it's also important to talk about how different perspectives might change things for certain people in school, the workforce, or even something as simple as their choice in movies. I would then have students do a writing activity about a time where they didn't see eye to eye with someone else, and what they could have done to see their perspective. That was a very fast overview of 5 different lessons that I had in mind. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.